This is a strategic analysis of Ticketmaster, conducted by Paige Foster, Jack Kersey, Kumpati, Kyla Moore, and Elijah Obour. To guide our analysis, we'll start with a high-level company overview to understand how Ticketmaster became so influential. Then, we'll move to an external environmental analysis, looking at the forces shaping the ticketing industry. From there, we'll examine Ticketmaster's internal strengths and weaknesses, identify the strategic problem, and finish with the recommendations for how the company can navigate its future. Ticketmaster was designed to make ticket buying easier, essentially automating a process that was used to be slow and highly manual for venues. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, the company expanded aggressively by building early ticketing technology with locking in exclusive partnerships with major venues. This strategy positioned Ticketmaster as the essential infrastructure for live events before competitors even had a chance to scale. It strengthened that position even further in 2010 when Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation. That merger combined ticketing, artist management, and concert promotion under one company, creating an entertainment powerhouse and raising concerns about whether meaningful competition could even exist. Understanding that history is key because it explains both Ticketmaster's dominance and the scrutiny it faces today. And we'll dive into that more in this presentation. Before we do that, I want to introduce myself as Kumpati. I'm here to give you the company overview, the quick facts, the history, the foundation. Before we dive into the details of what this company is facing, I want you to understand this company from the beginning all the way to where we are now. So let's start with some quick facts. Ticketmaster was founded in 1976 with one simple goal: to streamline and modernize a live event ticketing, which at that time was slow and manual. Over the years, the company expanded far beyond basic ticket sales. It evolved into a full-service provider, offering ticketing technology, market support, and advanced analytics for venues, promoters, and artists. A major turning point came in 2010 when Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation. That merger significantly increased its influence by combining ticketing with event promotion and artist management under one organization. And today, Ticketmaster operates in more than 30 countries and manages thousands of live events every year, illustrating just how global and integrated its operations have become. Together, these facts show how Ticketmaster grew from a niche ticketing solution into the central infrastructure of this live entertainment industry. And those monopolistic strategies is kind of what we're going to address today in our presentation. Let's do a deeper dive into Ticketmaster's humble beginnings, and I will explain to you how they went from a basic ticketing software to the company that it is today. As I stated before, Ticketmaster began in 1976. It was founded by two Arizona State University staffers who created ticketing hardware and systems. From the outset, their goal was to make ticket sales operations smooth for venues rather than the old method of long box office lines, local systems, and manual checks. As the live concert business expanded in the 1970s and 80s, bringing bigger venues and more complex logistics, there was a real demand for a unified ticketing solution. And by 1978, the company was already going global, setting up operations outside of North America. Through the 80s and the 90s, Ticketmaster distinguished itself by offering more than just basic ticket sales. As the Medium article recalls, what set Ticketmaster apart was Rosen. He wasn't afraid to go that extra mile with negotiating. He was willing to take on the arena's accounting to land that deal. Thus, Ticketmaster formed deep venue partnerships, expanded into new geographies, including Canada and Europe, and began to dominate over their competitors. For example, it even outpaced and then bought out its rival Ticketron in 1990. At the same time, the business model evolved to one where the company charged service fees like convenience fees, increasingly capturing value not just for the venue or artist, but for the platform itself. As we move forward into the 2000s and the 2010s, Ticketmaster started dominating this industry. By 1992, Ticketmaster reportedly generated around $1 billion in sales and sold about 52 million tickets annually. During the 1990s, as the internet enabled new sales channels and the live entertainment business got even more global, Ticketmaster continued merging and acquiring, expanding its reach. Then came the pivotal moment in 2010. Live Nation, which already promoted concerts, owned venues, and managed artists, merged with Ticketmaster. This merger combined Live Nation's power over venues and promoters and artists with Ticketmaster's ticketing infrastructure and distribution, and it resulted in a vertically integrated live entertainment super entity. Regulators in the U.S. and elsewhere did scrutinize this deal. Conditions were placed on the merger. For example, they had to license certain ticketing technologies to competitors, not retaliate against venues choosing other ticket providers. But critics argue that the conditions have been weak or poorly influenced. Continuing in the 2010s and 2020s, there was a global reach and technological evolution that carried across all industries, and specifically with Ticketmaster. On its Our Story page, Ticketmaster highlights its evolution of tech, from paperless tickets in 2008, encrypted digital tickets in 2019, NFTs in 2010, the Ignite 360 connected experience in 2023. The point: the business isn't just ticket sales. It's becoming a data-driven platform, event creation and management, sales, event day solutions, marketing and measurement, fan experience optimization. And this reach is global, with operations in more than 30 countries. However, recently, ongoing controversies, system failures, and public backlash have intensified scrutiny, ultimately leading to the Department of Justice antitrust lawsuit in 2024. Together, these events set the stage for the strategic challenges we'll analyze. So, the key question we explore today is this: how can Ticketmaster maintain market leadership while addressing anti-competitive concerns and rebuilding trust? In the next few steps, we're going to examine the external and internal challenges, frame a strategic problem, and propose reform and innovation strategies. To begin answering our question, Paige will now walk us through the external factors shaping the company's environment, from industry structure all the way to regulatory forces.
Now we will move on to our external analysis. To fully analyze Ticketmaster, we must look at the external forces that shape the event ticketing industry. These include industry overview, market trends and competition, the economy, the regulatory environment, technological changes, and sociocultural perception. The event ticketing industry is taking the world by storm, worth over $60.5 billion in 2024, and is expected to reach almost $100 billion by 2030. The event ticketing industry does not just cover music-related events, but also other events such as sporting events and shows. Currently, North America is the largest market for online ticketing and represents almost 70% of all ticket sales worldwide. There are a variety of competitors in this space, including primary market companies like Ticketmaster, Eventbrite, and Access, as well as secondary market companies like SeatGeek, StubHub, and Vivid Seats. Next, we must look at the competitive landscape relating to the event ticketing industry and Ticketmaster. Using the Porter's 5 Forces model, we're able to examine the threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, threat of new substitutes, and rivalry among existing competitors. In this market, the threat of new entrants is low, and there are barriers to entry, including high technology costs and difficult regulatory hurdles. Additionally, it is a monopolized market, making it harder for new competitors to enter. While the bargaining power of suppliers is moderate due to some major artists being able to leverage popularity and negotiate with Ticketmaster, the bargaining power of buyers is low. As demand for live experiences continues to rise, consumers who are interested in purchasing tickets have minimal options and alternatives to do so. While there are minimal alternatives, the threat of substitutes is still moderate because there are small local venues that may have different ticketing purchase streams in-house. Finally, the rivalry among existing competitors is low to moderate because there are few real competitors. As mentioned earlier, a monopolized market leads to a reduction in the number of rivalries. Now, looking at the economic environment, we're able to see that despite rising ticket prices and additional service fees, consumers have been spending more and more on live experiences. After the COVID-19 pandemic, live events resumed tenfold, and the demand has only grown stronger. While monetary exchange rates have caused an impact on international pricing and artists who want to tour internationally, there have been many technological improvements leading to a better and easier purchasing experience for customers and new revenue streams for competitors. Many of the biggest hurdles faced in the live event ticketing industry are from regulatory pressures and legal challenges. For Ticketmaster in particular, they have faced DOJ and FTC scrutiny. There was a large merger leading to a DOJ settlement, and congressional hearings with related legislative reform. In 2010, Live Nation and Ticketmaster merged and created an entertainment powerhouse. However, a common theme throughout this analysis is the monopolized market, and even the DOJ and FTC have made accusations of monopolistic practices by Ticketmaster. In 2019, there was a DOJ settlement after Live Nation was investigated for pressuring concert venues to use Ticketmaster, which was a violation of the merger agreement. It was made clear that Live Nation may not threaten to withhold concerts from venues that choose to use a ticketer other than Ticketmaster, as that is a violation. Post this settlement, there have still been congressional hearings to probe into Ticketmaster's business practices, in which they were compared to a traditional monopoly in the mode of Standard Oil. While the hearing was just a probe, there have been many ideas for legislative reform, including the Fans First Act, the Bots Act, the Boss Act, and the SWIFT Act. The Bots Act, passed in 2016, prohibits the circumvention of control measures used by the internet ticket sellers to ensure equitable consumer access to tickets for any given event. Additionally, others introduced, including the Fans First Act, is written to promote fairness in the sale of event tickets, while the Boss and SWIFT Act are to protect consumers from unfair and deceptive acts and practices in connection with primary and secondary ticket sales. Technological factors also must be analyzed to see the full picture for both Ticketmaster and the live event ticketing industry. AI and bots have impacted the ability for consumers to purchase tickets to the extreme levels in which Congress has stepped in, as mentioned in the previous slide. The use of mobile ticketing also has created concerns in regards to accessibility and privacy, especially when digital is the only option. Not only does digital access and bots affect online ticket sales, but there is now dynamic pricing algorithms that can adjust ticket costs in real time based on a variety of factors, including demand, which can lead to increased profits, but also increased customer frustration. Finally, we will look at the sociocultural factors and public perceptions that affect Ticketmaster. Across the board, consumers are becoming extremely frustrated with excessive fees and ticket markups that can be related to bots and dynamic pricing algorithms, as previously mentioned. While consumers are spending more on these events, they are also becoming outspoken about what they expect from their ticket vendors and are not afraid to take to their congressional representatives, as well as using social media as a form of activism.
Now I'm going to take us inside the company with the internal analysis. Up to this point, we've looked outward at the industry and competitors, but Ticketmaster's biggest challenges and many of its advantages come from within. This section focuses on what Ticketmaster actually does well, where its internal systems fall short, and why those dynamics matter for the company's long-term strategy. When we step back and look at the full SWOT picture, Ticketmaster really is a heavyweight. Its strengths are huge, but so are the cracks forming underneath that dominant position. The SWOT is helpful here because it shows the two sides of the same coin. The same scale and influence that give Ticketmaster an advantage also intensify public scrutiny, customer frustration, and regulatory pressure. So this sets the tone for the next few slides. That is understanding how Ticketmaster's internal reality shapes everything happening on the inside. Strengths in action. One of Ticketmaster's clearest strengths is its command of data and analytics. The company is constantly analyzing demand in real time, which is how it adjusts its pricing, controls inventory, and keeps venues filled. That data foundation gives it a level of forecasting that smaller companies and competitors simply cannot match. Then you have the exclusive venue partnerships. Ticketmaster has access to about 82% of the major venues in the United States. That means they don't just participate in the market, they set the terms for much of it actually. They also have deep technology integration. Systems like Verified Fan and their anti-bot tools, those were created to bring more fairness and reduce fraud. And when those systems work well, they're very powerful. And of course, Ticketmaster also benefits from Live Nation's financial muscle. That backing alone gives them stability, resources, and the ability to invest in high-cost technology that would drain a smaller company quickly. These strengths explain how Ticketmaster maintains more than 60% of the U.S. ticketing market, which is nearly double the next competitor. Strengths don't tell the whole story, and honestly, this is where things can get complicated. Ticketmaster's weaknesses aren't small glitches. They're the kind of issues that shape public opinion and trigger political attention. Very important. The Taylor Swift prescale collapse is the biggest example, obviously. That incident exposed technical gaps, understaffed support systems, and slow communication. It was a huge turning point in how the public viewed Ticketmaster. Now, there's also the 2018 data breach, which made consumers question whether their personal info is even safe. Another major concern is the ongoing criticism around bots and resellers. Even with verification systems in place, many customers feel that the marketplace is stacked against them, and that fuels the perception that Ticketmaster benefits from those inflated resale prices. High service and convenience fees, that only adds to the frustration. Those fees have essentially become a symbol of Ticketmaster's brand problem. And finally, Ticketmaster also has a pattern of being slow to respond when issues happen. Big thumbs down. In a world where outages go viral in seconds, silence works against them. These weak spots have real consequences. Lower customer satisfaction, of course, ongoing congressional hearings, and sustained negative media coverage that harms the brand long term. Now, there are some opportunities for growth and reform. Even with all of those challenges, Ticketmaster still has clear opportunities, and honestly, some of these come directly from the pressure they're facing. For example, regulatory reform may seem like a headache, but it could actually be a chance for Ticketmaster to reset expectations and rebuild trust by embracing that transparency. There's also room for technological innovation, especially with blockchain ticketing and more advanced AI security tools. These improvements could reduce fraud and give fans more confidence in the buying process. Direct to fan artist partnerships are another opportunity. When artists control more of their ticket distribution, fans feel the process is fairer, and Ticketmaster can play a supportive, not controlling role. And on top of that, the live events market continues to rebound strongly after the pandemic. Consumers still want live entertainment, which gives Ticketmaster the chance to grow if it can reshape how the public experiences its platform. Of course, there are some serious threats that Ticketmaster can't ignore, just like any company. The biggest threat they have is the combination of regulation, competition, and public distrust. New competitors are leaning rather into lower fees and fan-friendly pricing models, and audiences are paying attention. Regulators are pushing harder than ever, especially around fee transparency, dynamic pricing, and allegations of monopoly behavior. The public perception problem is real. When customers feel taken advantage of, even if the technology is improving, the damage for the brand can last for years. So Ticketmaster's dominance is not guaranteed. Its ability to maintain that position depends on how well it addresses its internal issues, how well it modernizes its systems, and how it decides to rebuild trust with the very people buying the tickets.
Hello, I'm John Kersey. Now that we've examined Ticketmaster's external environment, including industry competitions and regulatory practices, and its internal capabilities and limitations, we will focus on the core strategic challenges the company faces and the potential solutions. This section will frame the strategic problem: how can Ticketmaster maintain its market dominance while responding to anti-competitive concerns and rebuild trust with consumers? I will present specific recommendations designed to leverage Ticketmaster's internal capabilities and address external pressures. Our team will assess the risk associated with these strategies and outline key performance indicators or KPIs to monitor progress. Our aim is to provide a clear and actionable roadmap for sustaining competitive advantages in a complex and rapidly evolving market. Ticketmaster is currently the leading global ticketing platform, a position built on extensive brand recognition, partnerships with major event organizers, and a broad customer base. However, the company is facing significant challenges that threaten its market dominance. Consumer concerns regarding fairness, transparency, and high service fees are growing, and these issues are increasingly amplified by social media and public criticism. At the same time, competition from secondary resale platforms and emerging digital ticketing services is placing pressures on Ticketmaster's market share. Internally, the company must align its resources, technological capabilities, and operational practices to respond effectively to these external pressures. Addressing these challenges is critical, not only to sustain market leadership, but also to rebuild the trust with consumers, event organizers, and regulatory bodies, ensuring a long-term development and competitive advantages within its operational stability. The strategic problem impacts a wide range of stakeholders, both internal and external. Internal stakeholders, including executives, IT and R&D teams, and customer service employees, play a critical role in implementing initiatives that address consumer trust, operational efficiency, and technology improvements. Executives must allocate resources strategically and align incentives to encourage the adoption of new processes, while employees must engage with and effectively use the new digital tools to improve service quality. Externally, consumers' trust directly influence how they perceive Ticketmaster's brand and affects their purchase behavior. Event organizers rely on the platform's reputation and reliability, and regulators monitor practices to ensure compliance with antitrust and fairness standards. Investors, meanwhile, assess the company's ability to maintain competitive advantages while managing risk. Understanding these interdependencies is essential for effective strategy implementation and achieving sustainable outcomes that both satisfy operational and reputational goals. There exist several strategic opportunities to address its current challenges while positioning the company for growth. Regulatory reform initiatives focused on transparency and fairness can help rebuild consumer trust and reduce regulatory risk. Technology and innovation such as blockchain ticketing and AI-based dynamic pricing can improve both security and revenue efficiency, while also enhancing the customer experience. The post-pandemic rebound to live event demand presents a market opportunity that the company can leverage to increase ticket sales and market share. Artist partnerships and direct-to-fan ticketing programs can strengthen customer loyalty and reduce secondary market scalping. Finally, brand renewal initiatives that proactively address public criticisms provide an opportunity to reset corporate culture and improve service delivery. By carefully prioritizing and sequencing these options, Ticketmaster can align internal resources with external opportunities, reinforcing its competitive advantage and building a sustainable, customer-focused strategy. The recommended strategy for Ticketmaster integrates technology-driven improvements, trust-building initiatives, and brand renewal efforts. Blockchain ticketing and AI-based dynamic pricing provide enhanced security, transparency, and optimized revenue for the company, while direct-to-fan partnerships strengthen artist relationships and improve customer loyalty. Brand renewal initiatives complement these efforts by proactively addressing public criticism and enhancing service culture across the organization. Implementation should occur in phases, beginning with pilot programs in key markets over the first 6 months to test technology and partnership models. This should be followed by a broader rollout with staff training over the next 12 months to ensure scalability and capability alignment. Finally, continuous monitoring and evaluation over the subsequent 6 months will ensure that key performance indicators such as adoption rates, customer satisfaction, and transaction efficiency are being met. This phased approach reduces risk and allows for iterative improvements and ensures alignment between strategic initiatives and operational capabilities.
Thank you very much. My name is Obour, and then I'm presenting on key risk and mitigation strategies. So I will start with risk owners, that is legal regulatory compliance, IT cybersecurity, PR to bracket brand management. That is the next one is contingency plan. That is to introduce rollback systems for dynamic pricing, crisis PR, playbook for outages. Key performance indicators. Customer satisfaction was greater than or equal to 85%. Ticket fraud rate was less than 0.5%. Average transaction latency was less than 2 seconds. And AI adoption rate was greater than 75% by the fourth quarter of 2025. We look at a table that we have here, which shows the risk, likelihood, impact, mitigation. So we take it from the first one is technology initiate failed to deliver transparency or ROI. That is likelihood is medium, impact is high, and then mitigation, pilot testing, iterative adjustment, continuous KPI monitoring. And then as the table follows, the second one is a customer trust initiatives are ineffective. So the likelihood is medium, impact is high, and then targeted market campaigns, feedback loops, proactive communication. The other risk is regulatory scrutiny escalate. Likelihood is medium, high, impact is high, ongoing compliance audit, engagement with regulators, proactive reporting. And then we come back to the next one, competitors innovate faster or capture market share. That is the risk. And then the likelihood is medium, the impact is medium, and then the mitigation is continuous monitoring, agile response strategy, and then flexible partnership. So what this means is that, let me break down this for you. So on this slide, I want to briefly highlight the major risks Ticketmaster must manage moving forward. First, there is a regulatory risk, especially after the recent DOJ lawsuit. The legal team must ensure the company stays compliant as the rules evolve. Next is cybersecurity. With past breaches and constant BOT activities, the IT team must strengthen protection measures and ensure new technologies are implemented safely. Lastly, we have a reputational risk. Public trust is fragile here, so the PR team needs strong crisis communication plans and faster responses when issues like this arise. Together, these ownership rules and contingency plans help stabilize Ticketmaster operations even when unexpected problems occur. The next slide talks about expected outcomes and key performance indicators. So market share is expected to stabilize or increase in key segments within 2 years. Revenue growth will reflect improved data adoption and optimized pricing. Customer engagement metrics, including direct to fan purchases, loyalty, participation, and repeat usage, are projected to be high or to rise. Operational efficiency will be measured by transaction speed and cost per ticket. Progress will be tracked through real-time dashboards and quarterly reviews. Tie key performance indicators to initiatives: blockchain adoption, AI pricing, artist partnership, loyalty programs, timeline-based milestones, quarterly target for adoption, engagement, and efficiency. Benchmark against competitors, that is relative improvement in trust, engagement, and efficiency. So what this also means is that this slide outlines the performance goals for Ticketmaster expects to meet as the strategy is implemented. At least we'll go back to the other slide. That is how to show the other slide. How to show a key target, that is improving customer satisfaction at least 85%, which is essential for building rebuilding trust. Operationally, the company aims for transaction times under 2 seconds, showing a commitment to smoother and faster purchasing. The company also wants to reduce fraud to 0.5% and achieve a 75% AI adoption rate by late 2025 to enhance prediction, pricing, and security. The key performance indicators help track whether the reforms are improving customer experience. Now, this slide is for the conclusion, or it has to do with the conclusion. So, Ticketmaster strategic future depends on its willingness to confront reputational damage and structural weaknesses exposed in recent years. Although its market dominance and technological assets remain unmatched, the company must prioritize transparency, customer trust, and regulatory compliance to avoid further erosion of its brand. If Ticketmaster embraces reforms and modernizes its systems with true consumer fairness, it can stabilize its leadership and redefine the standard of the live event industry. So what I have to say about this is that Ticketmaster's future depends on how well it responds to the reputational and structural issues exposed in recent years. The company still has a strong asset and a dominant market position, but it must prioritize transparency, fairness, and modernization to maintain that leadership. If Ticketmaster embraces these reforms and rebuilds trust with consumers, artists, and regulators, it has the potential to reshape the live event industry and positively impact them positively, and then they can also be sustainable. Thank you very much. My name is Elijah Obour.